Harmanpreet Singh's team is a giant killer. Tonight they have won the Women's World Cup by 52 runs by beating South Africa in an epic encounter at the Divai Patil Stadium. There are scenes of celebrations right now going on in the middle. Prolific performances by the likes of Deepti Sharma, Shefali Verma helped India clinched their maiden World Cup title. It's the 1983 World Cup winning moment for the Indian women's team. They had come very close twice in 2005 and 2017, but they were unable to get over the finish line. Tonight is their night. The Indian women's team, after an epic semi-final against Australia, where they beat the previous world champions, they went on to beat South Africa in a very, very nervy finish at the Divai Patil Stadium to be crowned as the world champions. This is the first world championship trophy for the Indian women's team, and a very, very special one. 1983 moment for the Indian women's team. There on your screen are the pictures from the home of Shefali Verma in Rohtak. One of the heroes of the match. Shefali, remember, wasn't a part of the original team, but she was pitchforked and brought into the team after India's opener Pratika Rawal got injured, and during the final she was an absolute hero. She stroked 87 and also picked up 2 wickets. An all-round show there. Also an all-round performance by none other than Deepti Sharma. She picked up a 5-wicket haul as India clinched that maiden World Cup title.
Well, absolutely, huge celebrations over at the residence of Shefali Verma. Shefali Verma's parents who have been, celebrating her victory. Let us speak to her mother first. क्या कहना चाहेंगी? बहुत बहुत बधाई हो आपको, आपकी बेटिया ने देश का नाम रोशन किया।
मैं पूरे देशवासियों को धन्यवाद।
Let us speak to her father as well, who is getting emotional at this point. And what she has to say right now.
बोल मनशा माता की जय।
सर, क्या कहना चाहेंगे? कितना बड़ा मूवमेंट है?
बहुत खुश है। जय मनशा माता की जय।
Celebrations that we are witnessing at the residence of Shefali Verma. She at the age, very tender age, started her cricket career, and also let me tell you that she is the youngest player today in the team. And also we'll try to speak to other female members of the family. क्या कैसा लग रहा है आपको? एक लड़की आपको
बहुत खुशी हुई है, बहुत खुशी हुई।
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत अच्छा हमने
ऐसा जश्न मनाएंगे।
आप दूसरी दिवाली
दूसरी दिवाली है, so that's the second Diwali for them.
माता की जय।
So let us speak to her mother as well, so as to get a glimpse. You can see that what kind of celebration is being done over here. Remember that this was the same net, where she used to play cricket, but there was also a point of time where she was denied entry. Let us also once again speak to her mother as well, so as to what she has to say. माता जी, आपसे एक बार बात करना चाहेंगे हम इस वक्त। एक बताइए कि एक ऐसा समय था जब शेफाली को एंट्री नहीं मिलती थी क्रिकेट एकेडमी में क्योंकि वो लड़की थी। अब कैसा लग रहा है?
अब बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। मैं पूरे देशवासियों को यही कहूँगी, भाई अपनी लड़कियों को आगे बढ़ाओ।
एक ऐसा वक्त था जब उसे एंट्री नहीं मिलती थी, क्या कहा जाता था?
देखो वो वक्त हम भूल गए, अब खुशी के लिए खुशी में भूल गए हो।
कई लोगों ने मजाक भी उड़ाया था उस वक्त।
आप भूल गए हो,
आप भूल गए हैं। अब बेटी का स्वागत किस तरह से करने वाले हैं?
वो देखना आप।
इतनी गर्व की बात है कि आज उसने 87 रन बनाए, 2 विकेट भी लिए।
बिल्कुल भगवान का आशीर्वाद है।
So we'll once again now. So that was the mother of Shefali Verma, and now we'll show you the visuals that what kind of celebrations are taking place. We'll now speak to the other members also who are in fact in the celebrating mode. The family members, the brothers, her cousins, and take a word as to what they say. कितने खुश हैं आप लोग? किस तरह से मनाएंगे?
दिवाली बन रही है। आज हमारी दिवाली है, आज हमारी बेटी है शिफाली मनसा मैया की जय। छोरियां छोरों से कम नहीं है।
हमारी छोरों से कम नहीं।
हमारी छोरियां छोरों से कम नहीं है। और जिसने आज पूरे हिंदुस्तान का नाम पूरे वर्ल्ड में फेमस किया, हमारी बेटी शिवाली वर्मा हमारी बेटी है। और उसने सब पूरे वर्ल्ड का में
पूरे रोहतक में नाम रोशन, पूरे रोहतक का नाम उसने इंटरनेशनल स्तर पर रोशन,
पूरे रोहतक का नाम पूरे देश में प्रसिद्ध कर दिया है, पूरे विश्व में
रोशन किया है,
पूरे विश्व में रोशन कर दिया जी।
क्या कहना चाहेंगे आज आप इस मौके?
हमारी शेफाली बहन ने आज पूरे विश्व में रोहतक का नहीं पूरे भारत का नाम रोशन कर दिया। मैं आपसे यही कहना चाहूँगा।
So you see here, the celebration is going to continue because the kind of performance that she has given is exemplary. And also we'll also speak to some of the members who are still celebrating. दादा, आप कब से जानते थे शेफाली को?
हमारे बहुत करीबी है। शिवाली हमारी बेटी है। हमारी तो दिवाली और होली सब कुछ आज हुई है। वन द मैच इंडिया 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 इंडिया।
दूसरी दिवाली मना रहे हैं आज आप?
दूसरी दिवाली पूरे देश में मनेगी, पूरे देश में
दिवाली
पूरे देश में।
The entire country is going to celebrate the second.
Pictures from Shefali Verma's home. Celebration will continue deep into the night. They're calling it the second Diwali. Shefali Verma herself had said that it was God's plan to put her in the Indian team at the back of Pratika Rawal's injury. To put the win in perspective at this hour, I'm joined by our experts, former India internationals Atul Vasan, Deep Das Gupta, cricketer Tamanna Nigam and Rakesh Rao. Atul, let me come to you. Put this win in perspective. Tell us how big it is and what it is going to result in when we talk about the women's cricket verse. Atul, if you can hear me, tell us this win, what will it do to India's cricket verse for the women? Deep, if I can ask you the same question, put this win in perspective for us.
Oh, this is as big as it gets. This is a watershed moment for cricket, for obviously Indian cricket and world cricket, and not just Indian. So, obviously for Indian cricket and women's cricket, this is massive. We've spoken about this after the semi-final win against Australia, that the journey was not finished. But I think this, with winning of the World Cup, I think we've spoken about the 83 factor or 83 influence on Indian cricket, winning Kapil Paji and his team winning the World Cup. This would be right up there. And I hope that the change that we saw in the landscape post that victory, this would kind of help as a catalyst and change the face of women's cricket world over, not just India.
Now, please talk to us about the turning point in the match today. It wasn't an easy match. Laura Fulford scored a century, becoming the second cricketer to have scored a century in semi-final and final. And she was threatening to take away the game from India time to time. What, according to you, was the turning point?
Had she been around for a while longer, then it would have been easier for the other batters, and especially with Nadine de Klerk and Chloe Treon yet to come while she was batting. It looked like a really, really close game there, but her wicket was the turning point as far as I'm concerned, because obviously she's in superb now, got 100 in the semis, batted beautifully in this game as well. And her being the captain, the senior pro on one side, she just kept this chase on track for the longest time. But yeah, I mean, that wicket of hers was, for me, the turning point.
Rakesh Rao with us on the broadcast. Rakesh, talking about the special performances tonight is one of Deepti Sharma's, the 5-wicket haul. Would you say the way she came in and changed the game has been exemplary?
See, she's not the only one, because, you have to give a lot of credit to people who had done a lot of work earlier when Indians put up that kind of a score on the board. And then, of course, the fast bowlers did a reasonably decent job. But I think, the pressure helped Deepthi, the pressure built by the fielders, all those, a total of 142 dot balls in an innings. And when you look at the point when she came and started, like bowling, she had the advantage of the pressure already being there. And then, of course, a lot of people chose her as their, like go-to sort of a person because they wanted to, like target her, and she gained from that. But credit to her, she kept her head, she kept bowling, and of course, that 42nd over of the innings, where she got two huge wickets, Laura's wicket was the one, of course, no question about it, because as long as she stayed there, Indians couldn't be too sure of actually, like making it. A lot of, of course, Indians were definitely looking ahead of where they were. They were already smelling victory. A lot was happening. But still, I think overall, Indians finished the job well. And the bowlers, for once, did what was expected. Because once they had put up close to 300, bowlers had that kind of a cushion that they could afford to go wrong in parts. But then, of course, they kept striking, and getting 10 wickets is something exemplary. Totally.
Deep, right till that wicket of Nadine de Klerk, India was being threatened by the South Africans. It didn't seem like India will be able to seal the game. At what point did you feel that pressure is off India?
Well, to be fair, I mean, as long as Nadine de Klerk was there, I know. I mean, at the end, she was batting with the tail enders, if I may call them so. It was always going to be difficult, but if you remember during the league phase, she kind of obviously she had the help of Chloe Treon in that game. But she's such a destructive batter. But I thought, I mean, the wicket of Laura Wolford and then, Chloe Treon. I mean, she wasn't there for long. I think that phase there was very, very critical because if you see how South Africa right through this tournament, what they've done is they've kind of taken it deep and made sure that they set the platform for for batters like Nadine de Klerk and Chloe Treon to come and bat freely and play the way they do. And that's been quite successful right through this tournament, that kind of a game plan. And I think they were heading towards that. But I guess the moment Laura Wolford was gone, that was the time when, so if you look at Nadine de Klerk and Chloe Treon, they play a certain brand of cricket, which is very good when you need 50 of 30. But at the other end, especially when you need 80 odd runs of 70 balls or something like that, you need somebody to kind of guide them and hold the innings together. And that's what Laura Wolford was doing right through the innings. And I thought when she got out, even though it was possible, but then the game, I thought, swung majorly towards India's way with that wicket.
Deep, we'll have to talk a little bit about Harman's captaincy tonight and the way she made the bowling changes. Would you say that bringing in Shafali Verma at the stage she came in and took those 2 wickets was a magic move?
That was a great move if you think about it, and just backing Shefali to come and bowl because obviously Shefali is playing international cricket and this format after a very long time. Obviously, I mean, leaving the semi-finals aside, just to bring her back and get those 2 wickets, and those are massive wickets. Sunelu, she's again one of those Laura Wolford kind of a batter who can keep this innings together, and she's played some really good innings this World Cup as well, and so is Marizan Kaur. Marizan Kaur's one of the legends of the game. So to pick up those 2 massive wickets in that spell, and she gave barely, her economy rate was less than 3. So that phase and those overs was so crucial, and like you rightly said, a lot of credit to Harman, to Amol, and the support staff too. It just seemed right through this innings, this fielding innings, the second innings, it just seemed that India had plans for every batter. Because if you look at the field placements as well, a short mid-on and things like that, when you see things like that, which is a little out of box, you realize that there's a lot of planning which has gone behind this game, behind every batter. And credit to that bit and also the execution bit, where the bowlers did a fabulous job of executing those plans.
Right. Do stay on with us for the broadcast. We'll go over to our colleague Shubhang Singh Thakur, who is standing by at Deepti Sharma's residence in Agra. Shubhang, tell us, what do you see there? What kind of celebrations have begun?
Well, definitely history has been made today, and in fact, I'm just standing outside Dipti's house, and I can show you the visuals. In fact, the neighbors over here are in fact standing tight. In fact, just about a few minutes back, they were in fact bursting crackers. They said that this is Diwali for them because history has been made. And remember that Dipti's performance was in fact very crucial in today and in this entire series. In fact, Dipti has taken 5 wickets in today's match. Well, we will straight away go and talk to the neighbors over here. भाई साहब, क्या नाम है आपका?
मेरा नाम मनीष बाबानी है। मैं पूज्य सिंधी पंचायत अवधपुरी का महामंत्री और अवधपुरी का निवासी हूँ। और आज
आप बचपन से देख रहे हैं, दीप्ति की शुरुआत यहाँ से हुई है। 8 साल की उम्र से दीप्ति खेल रही थी, कैसा लगा है आपको?
वो शुरू से ही बहुत मेहनती क्रिकेटर थी और क्रिकेट का आगरा से पुराना और हॉकी से नाता रहा है। और आज 52 साल बाद वुमेन्स वर्ल्ड कप में इंडिया पहली बार वर्ल्ड कप जीती है 52 साल बाद। इसके लिए पूरे भारतवासियों को बहुत बहुत बधाई। और इसमें दीप्ति शर्मा का जो परफॉर्मेंस रहा है, उन्होंने हाफ सेंचुरी भी मारी है और 5 विकेट भी लिए हैं। इसके लिए पूरे भारत
लोगों का ना थोड़ा जोश कम हो गया है। अब मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, आपका जोश कम हो गया। अभी तक आप चिल्ला रहे थे, दिखाइए थोड़ा सा।
भारत माता की, भारत माता की
ये आतिशबाजियां
दीप्ति शर्मा
आतिशबाजियां बंद नहीं होनी चाहिए। आपको लगता है बंद होनी चाहिए? आज की थी, थोड़ी देर पहले यहाँ पर मंत्री जी भी थे, कह रहे थे कि बहुत ज्यादा जश्न मना करेंगे।
हाँ, सुबह से 2-3 बार एसपी सिंह बघेल जी जो भारतीय सरकार में केंद्रीय मंत्री हैं, वो भी 2-3 बार आए हैं और भी बहुत गणमान्य लोग आगरा के आ रहे हैं।
आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? दीप्ति की परफॉर्मेंस आज बहुत जरूरी थी। देखिए 5 विकेट लेना एक मैच में, उसके बाद
We'll come back to you. We are joined by BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla at this hour. Shukla ji, many congratulations to you and all of BCCI for this stupendous achievement of the Indian cricket team. You have been very closely following this team for a very long time. Give us your first reaction, sir.
Thanks a lot. I'm in Mumbai itself, and I was watching the match also. I think it's a wonderful moment for all of us. I mean, these girls, they have proved to be, pride of India. For the first time, we have become the champion, world champion, and it's a big achievement as far as the Indian women are concerned. So we all are thrilled, and we are completely, flabbergasted the way they have won. And I was pretty confident from day one, but after the way they defeated Australia the other day, after that I thought that they would definitely become the champions. So kudos to all of them, and congratulations to all of you. And Deepti Sharma, I mean, she's from UP, that's why I'm proud of her. She has really done very well.
Sir, would you say that this is the 1983 moment for the Indian women's cricket team?
Exactly, you have hit the nail. Exactly, that is the similar moment as was of 1983, when out of nothing we had won. Our players had proved. So this is the moment for Indian women cricket. This is 1983 moment.
But sir, with 1983, there was a revolution in terms of one-day cricket, and then lots of things happened when it comes to men's cricket is concerned. But when it comes to women's cricket in India, we've already seen the rise of these stars through WPL. What could be the next big step then for the Indian women's stars?
Now I can only say that this victory will bring revolution to Indian women cricket.
In what way, sir?
In many things. I mean, steps which we were talking, that we have already taken. WPL has already started, so definitely the value will also go and will go up, and more women will get the opportunity. And in other segments also, women cricket is going to grow. If this kind of attendance is going to be in all the stadiums, then obviously, I mean, everybody would be, all, the sponsors, they'll be willing to sponsor the women team also.
Sir, before I let you go, I have to ask you what kind of celebration is planned by the BCCI for these girls? Is there going to be a victory parade?
That we all are here, and I mean, the all office bearers also are BCCI. So we'll take a decision, shortly, what all is to be done.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I'll let you go. Do enjoy the moment and all the best wishes to the girls. Rakesh Rao is with us on the broadcast. Rakesh, today's game wasn't easy for the Indian cricketers and the South African cricketers, given the fact that there was rain in Mumbai. The match was delayed by 2 hours. To keep their nerves cool and to keep the kind of temperament that they showed, what would it have taken? What kind of preparation would it have taken the Indian cricket team to keep themselves, keep their mind and body in sync in the moment of so much chaos?
Rika, first of all, they just had to wait because they couldn't have made any difference. So they had to be patient. And then, of course, the advantage that the Indians always had, that they had played here in the past. So during that, start, which was delayed by 2 hours, they would always take strength from the fact that they were in a position of advantage. Whether they were chasing, whether they were asked to, bat first, Indians were in a far better space because they were familiar. They were there for the last 2 matches. So I think that must have given them a lot of hope. Yes, losing the toss wasn't a very great, it wasn't of any, sort of great advantage to the South Africans as it, unfolded. Because the way the Indian openers kept their head, they showed a lot of sense of purpose. And the difference between these Indians and the South Africans, for me, was the way the Indians rotated the strike. You could see as many as 6 singles in so many overs. But in contrast, the South Africans, they were always behind India. So although the opener, the captain, she was right there. Laura did whatever that she could do. But overall, I think the team didn't believe that they could win. That is where the difference was. Once Indians put that kind of a total final game, and South Africans didn't know how to. Of course, they were very, very confident that this wicket would hold. But at the same time, I somehow felt that this South African team wouldn't be able to chase down 300. And that is exactly how it actually happened. But then, for you, when you chase down, you need runs from both ends. You can't have just one anchor who is doing all the heavy lifting. But then the other end, you didn't have that kind of a contribution. But yes, Indians did have a scare. But I think the pressure had to come into play at some point, and that is where actually the South Africans cracked. The pressure was also on the Indians, but at the same time, Indians had the support of the crowd, and of course that belief that yes, this could well be our day. And Shefali in particular, it was just her day. I mean, nobody just a week ago, nobody would have even thought of having such an unlikely, an unlikely champion performer on the big stage. And that too on a day like this. So Shefali, I think everything worked for her. It was just that the script was written in a way that, that she had to come good. She came and made the runs. She came and took those 2 early wickets. I think that set the stage before, of course, Deepti came and did the rest.
आप लोग देखे मैच कैसा लगा? बहुत अच्छा लगा. कौन सबसे अच्छा खेला आपके हिसाब से? Smriti, Deepti, कौन अच्छा खेला?
Smriti.
Shefali also?
Yes.
So I have another young fan here, a young woman who's also watched the game. How was the match? कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा है.
And who was your favorite in amongst all the performers? Smriti. And the others also played really well. Ma'am, you were inside. How did it feel? You actually witnessed the win in the stadium. How was it?
We are very thankful that yes, we are the part of this Women's World Cup, and I'm so happy that finally, yes, we've won the World Cup!
We are really happy. We are really happy that the women's team has shown what they are capable of doing, and they've really done it, and they have
given us so many memories to cherish really for a lifetime. And thank you so much, Team India, for giving us the opportunity to see you winning the World Cup at the home ground. Cheers, Team India! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! And ecstatic fans continue to pour out. कैसा लगा?
Indian women inspiration to domination. Now India dominates the world as World Cup champion. Nari Shakti, Indian Nari Shakti, world champion.
And that's the kind of mood outside the stadium. In fact, I'll try and get in a few more voices as we speak, as we get the fans celebrating this victory. This is the mood outside the DY Patil Stadium. I'll try and get in a few more women if I can. Who of course were also part of the match. आपने मैच देखे, कैसा लगा? अंदर आपने देखा जब इंडिया ने जीता, क्या महसूस किया?
बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. हम लोग बहुत खुश हो गए कि हमारा देश इंडिया जीत गया करके, और इसीलिए हम लोग इतने टाइम तक रुके थे यही देखने के लिए.
All right, I'll try and get in a few more women if I can. Also, the fans who are coming out of the stadium. So, how was the moment of victory? How did it feel?
नासिक सिटी.
Huh?
नासिक से आए.
नासिक से आए. कैसा लगा?
एकदम अच्छा लगा, बहुत बढ़िया.
अच्छा, सबसे बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस किसका था?
इसका नाम
दीप्ति शेफाली.
5 wicket.
So these of course are fans outside the DY Patil Stadium. A little fan again. How was the match?
Very good.
Really good.
Good. That's it. So, these are young cricketers who probably get inspired to take up the game. Who was the favorite player? Who played the best according to you?
Jemima.
Huh?
Jemima.
Oh, wow. Okay. Jemima actually won us that semi-final, and of course today we won the final, which we made history. Ma'am, if I can ask you, you brought your little girl to the stadium. How was it inside when India won?
बहुत अच्छा लगा. मेरा एक्चुअली हमारा फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस है. वर्ल्ड कप के लिए आ गए हम, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा.
So these are of course ecstatic fans who are pouring out of the stadium. How was the moment of victory inside?
It was very good. It was very emotional moment for all the Indians. It was very emotional moment. Very proud moment. Like first time we are lifting the World Cup for women's team. It was like very proud moment.
So these are of course fans who are coming out of the stadium. How was it?
I have been following women's cricket since last 10 years. We have been part of semi-final, final so many times, but this time we have won, and I have witnessed it, so it feels great. I'm very happy for all the players also. So yeah, hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Yeah, thank you.
Mumbai is celebrating, Navi Mumbai is celebrating. The DY Patil Stadium, of course, celebrated with fireworks soon after the victory. Fans, of course, thronging the stadium, gates of the stadium. More and more fans emerging from the stadium as India celebrates this historic win, the Maiden Women's World Cup victory in cricket. And like many have been saying, this is the Women's World Cup 83 moment. What 83 was to the Men's World Cup, this is perhaps to women's cricket in India. 2020-25 victory at the DY Patil Stadium is definitely going to be a part of history.
Well, my colleague Saurabh Gupta is there in the middle, soaking up the spirit of this epic win by the Indian cricket team against South Africa as they won by 52 runs at the DY Patil Stadium to clinch their maiden World Cup title. I'm also joined by our sports consultant, Boria Majumdar, at this hour. Boria, give us your first reaction after Indian team's win. You've been barracking for them for a very long time now.
Yeah, absolutely, Rika. I mean, both you and I. I mean, why only me? I mean, we've been talking about it for the longest time. We've been talking about it, and the reference point has always been men. No more. No more 1983 moment for the women's game. Women's game now has its own 2nd November moment. We've been asking for pay parity. You do not need to fight for that anymore. We've been asking for every kind of equality and sensitivity. You do not need to ask for that. Even today, when I was doing my show in the afternoon, I was asking my colleagues, what are these people wearing? What jerseys? Whose jerseys? And they were telling me Virat Kohli jerseys, Rohit Sharma jerseys. Now it will no longer be Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma. For a women's match, it will be a Smriti jersey, a Harman jersey, a Jemima jersey, a Deepti jersey. The game has changed. The sport has changed. Tomorrow morning, when a woman wakes up, a young girl wakes up, will pick up the cricket bat and the cricket ball and will want to be a Shafali Verma, a Sri Charania, Harmanpreet Kaur, a Jemima Rodriguez, a Smriti Mandana. That's what happened in 83. That's what has happened tonight. As I said, the sport has once and for all transformed itself with this victory, and can't tell you how delighted I am. You know, we've been talking about this for the longest time, wanting this for the longest time, and finally it has happened. And you know what? It has happened on home soil. That will make this victory 10x.
Really, what next for this team? Where do you see this team go from here?
You see, Rika, Deep was mentioning about consistency. 8 months down the line, you have the T20 World Cup in England. If you really want to sort of take it to the next level, you win that. You are seeing Deep mentioned the support staff. He mentioned the players. He mentioned them. I will mention the BCCI. Within 2 years of the start or 3 years of the start of the WPL, you are seeing a World Cup win. And now the WPL format is the T20 format. You can win that T20 World Cup in England. Australia has dominated this sport for the longest time. Even England has won it. New Zealand had won it. So India can. India can. India now has the infrastructure. India obviously is the powerhouse in the men's game. India certainly can become that powerhouse in the women. So to answer your question, I would want this consistency to be shown in England in June of 2026 when we play Pakistan in Birmingham on the 14th of June and then the final at Lord's on the 5th of July. This cannot be a one-off. Now this sport has turned the cycle. This sport has come of age. It's no longer the reference point as the men's game. The women's game will stand on its feet. And look, the first point that I want to say, this is no longer the women's team. When you talk about Rohit Sharma's team that won, you say the Indian team. For God's sake, this team is also the Indian team. No longer the women's team. That is the transformation that I keep talking about. And that I think now will happen consistently over a period, including next year in England for the World T20.